can follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Facebook, we are YBM Chat Podcast. Instagram at YBM Chat. You can listen to us on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts at YBM Chat. Hey, it's Dashia D.
Hey, it's Cassondra.
It's your boy Tre'Dub.
This girl LadiiNova.
And we are
YBM Chats.
Young Black Millennials offering you a fresh new take you didn't know you needed.
Welcome back. Y'all, we are back for season 2. Thank y'all so much for listening to season 1. It's going to be wonderful. We got so much new fun stuff for y'all. Please tell a friend and tell a friend and tell a friend. Please like, subscribe, share, comment. We're going to have something fun for y'all. We're very excited.
That's right. We is back and we is liver than ever. So let's start with a boy Yee to get this thing rolling. I don't know who is doing this hologram stuff, but please let these people be dead in their grave. Now they out here want Whitney Houston to go out here and be on tour. Why? How long this lady been gone? Who need to sing these notes? Why we need to see her? Who is getting this money? Leave that lady in the ground with all her jewels. I don't want to see no little mirage or whatever of her up on the stage. I'm good.
Did she have an opening act?
Yo.
You might just have all the greats up there.
Just think about it. What if it's your favorite artist and you wanted to see them and you didn't get a chance to because they passed away? I feel like this is a chance to give somebody an opportunity to say, hey, I saw them in concert. Yeah, it wasn't them, but you still get the experience, you know? I like it.
That's what YouTube is for.
I'm about to say, like,
yeah, but it's different. Think about it. That's different than if I'm on YouTube watching a video versus I'm actually in a concert. You get the feel of everything. Yeah, they're not there, you know, but they're still, you know, their hologram is there.
I'm gonna give you a prime example.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to see the Cheetah Girls when I was young. I went to go there. All 4 of them wasn't there. Raven was gone. I got up and I left. Do I want to see Raven now? No, I don't. I don't know what she's got going on, and I've been a big fan my whole life. That's just something I missed out on.
Patrick Star.
Moving on. Continuing on with music and boy Yee, we have a teacher by the name of Dashia Taylor who has decided to take music and help her students to learn all of their math. They even do it with their science classes. I'm not gonna lie, when I heard her doing it to, what was the song? Was it K-Camp? Is it K-Camp song? To start off on this floor, end up on the bed?
Yeah.
I honestly didn't. I wasn't doing the decimal thing that she was doing. I kind of wowed out. But, you know, I thought it was cool because kids take to music more. So for y'all parents that was telling us, if you know your homework, like you know that song, you would pass. Well, here we are, using that same music to pass our classes.
I love it.
Just believed in us and we had this problem now.
And just really fast, I'm going to shout out. So it's this guy at this conference. His name is Mr. B. His name is Anthony Broughton, and he's an alpha. And he does like a whole bunch of stuff like that. So he remakes pop songs into kids songs. And he said he got the idea, same as this lady. One of the kids was singing a Nicki Minaj song. And he was like, wait, you know all those lyrics, all those words. You can sing this. You can sing anything, you know? So he did the exact same thing, like turn it into a rap song. And if you think about it, we remember songs from elementary school, you know, simply because it was a song. So I really, really like it. And kudos to her.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to the Dashias doing great in the world.
Okay, so
moving on. But yes, great shout out to both of these remarkable people who had just Black, which swools us into the topic for today. For our first episode in season 2. So before I get started with this topic for this episode, I definitely want to kind of like give you guys a glimpse of what we're going to be talking about throughout this season in particular. We definitely want to shed some light on more issues that have been happening in the world. So, you know, first season you guys got to kind of get to know us. Now you're going to actually see us talk about certain issues, social issues, societal issues, things like that, like this one. So this topic today, we're going to be talking about pro-Blackness. And it's a very broad subject, so I'm going to try and like make it like clear as possible. And that's why I have my very amazing co-host with me to help me out with this topic here. So my personal definition of pro-Blackness is just signifying empowerment. To me, it's about embracing culture and also promoting love for all Black people, whether it's encouraging our youth or even as simple as supporting Black businesses. Its sole purpose is to continuously uplift Black people and so that they're proud of their race. So with that being said, you know, I definitely want to kind of get a sense of what you guys think pro-Blackness is to you, and also ask some follow-up questions beyond beyond that. So I want to start with Miss Cassondra. What do you think is pro-Blackness to you?
For me, pro-Black is just being proud of being Black, you know, like being unapologetically Black, not really having to feel like you have to change your hair or, you know, get like lighter skinned or something like that. Just being proud of who you are, and just taking pride of it, really.
That's amazing. Miss Megan, excuse me, LadiiNova.
Whatever. Season 2 mixed up. I'd have to agree with your definition that you gave, Tre'Dub. It's about, you know, being proud of who you are and being supportive of everyone else in our culture. Because a lot of the times people get lost, and you can be pro-Black and not have to demean people, in a sense, I guess, because a lot of people get mixed up in that and they look for like discounts and things. No, being pro-Black, support, go full on for your people. If you want that to be the thing, if you have the means to do so, push them as much as you can to further in their life. That's what I think being pro-Black is, getting everybody to the next level.
Awesome. All right, Miss Dashia D. With the shirt that she's wearing, by the way.
We like that shirt. Can you please show off that shirt? All right, there we go. We out.
But I feel like y'all kind of covered it. I feel like pro-Blackness is a combination of things. It's supporting the growth and development of Black people. It's accepting your Blackness and what that means, what that looks like. It's embracing culture and a shared experience that we have with people, other people of, well, not other people of color, but specifically other Black people. So.
Thank you guys for your answers. They were amazing. So again, like when we were all brought up, at least like in our generation, we've always been raised, especially with this month being Black History Month, that we've always been raised to embrace the people of high notoriety that we were raised to learn, as in Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, Malcolm X, everything like that. But what my next question is going to be, which African-American, it can be an historic person or someone like that has very high status now, who has influenced you to make you embrace your pro-Blackness more so. So Megan, any idea of anyone you can think of that's kind of influenced you to embrace your Blackness?
Main person that came to my head was Issa Rae.
Okay.
For the simple fact, like, how everybody has been on TV for quite some time, not really trying to throw shots at them, but everybody from like loving hip hop, there always was another thing attached to them. Issa Rae came out and was like, I'm just gonna be me, I'm gonna be weird, and you either gonna like it or you gonna like it. Like, that's pretty much it. You don't have a choice in between. I followed her up. I really can't remember which award show that was, and it was like, who are you rooting for to win? And she was like, everybody Black. Done. Like, that's the answer. Everybody Black. I'm finished, and I don't apologize for saying it. Don't want to change my answer, but that's who I think.
Yes, I love it. I love me some Issa Rae too. So shout out to her. Cassondra, who's your person?
I actually don't have one person, only because I see so many African Americans who have inspired people. Like, I've seen them work so hard, especially women. Not saying men don't, but I'm a woman. So, but anytime I see like a Black woman, like a strong Black woman, I feel so empowered. I feel that much more, you know what I mean? Like, proud of who I am, whether it is Issa Rae or Oprah Winfrey or Michelle Obama, you know, like I see them and I'm like proud to be a Black woman. So
Yes, come on, to the Black women in the world. Ms. Dacia.
Can you repeat your question?
So basically what I was saying is, well, what I was asking is, who, as far as like African American that has influenced you, whether it could have been someone historic or someone who's like an influencer now, who is that person that has influenced you to embrace your Blackness more? Or a group?
Right. I would actually say two professors. So people who are not famous or known. I had a professor my sophomore year of college, Dr. Greene, and he taught Black images in the media. And then I had an African American theater professor who's also an actress, Miss Cobb, Dr. Cobb. I feel like they both just kind of opened my mind to things that have been happening, but it wasn't on my radar because it wasn't the focus of school and high school. I felt like I just wasn't, I don't know, I feel like I wasn't exposed to certain things that were Black specific. And so when I took those two classes, that's when it kind of piqued my interest more. And I felt like, okay, I need to read more. I need to educate myself. And that was like my journey of, okay, I need to figure out who I am as a Black woman. So I would say them.
Nice. So me personally, if you guys don't know, I am an art nerd. I love everything between like paintings, graffiti art, sculptures. That stuff really is an interest of mine. And the reason why I bring that up is because someone who has influenced me to embrace my pro-Black or my race more is definitely this artist. His name is Fahamo Peku. He is a African-American painter and visual artist. And like I would say for like it's been about a year now that I've been exploring more Black artists, because now I try to get away from, the average older Caucasian men or whatever that I used to learn art history. Like, that's history. I don't really care about that. I'd rather like learn about, contemporary art that's kind of going on now. And the reason why I bring him up is because some of his art is almost all his art is very amazing. He uses graffiti art and also uses like color schemes and things like that to make something that is just so cutting edge and so like beautiful. So the reason why I wanted to use them is because I myself am an artist, and hopefully one day I could, be half of the artist that he is. So yeah. Great answers, guys. And my last question, and this is kind of a fun one to kind of see what you guys are gonna how you guys are gonna answer. So, and I know most of you viewers, or maybe you've seen this in the world, but so my last question is, do you think it's possible to be pro-Black and date outside of your race? What do you think, Megan?
It is really easy. Well, let me retract that statement. It can be very easy. It's just some people have to learn how to not put the other person down just to build themselves up. I don't see why you can't love yourself wholeheartedly and love somebody outside of the race. It can be a learning experience for both, because that person that you're dating, they may not know about you, and if they're of another nationality or something, you learn something about them. There's no reason why you can't be pro-Black and not date outside your race. I think that's those, what are they? People call them the hotep people that just be too far into stuff. I mean, if that's what y'all want to do, then okay, but you can't force some people just aren't attracted or have an attraction or chemical, like a chemistry with their own race. Sometimes it just doesn't happen. So you can't get mad because they go out and date somebody that's white or Hispanic or whatever. That doesn't change who they are as a person. They're still gonna be Black.
Right. Miss Cassondra?
So I had this conversation with my coworker before, and I always say pro-Black doesn't mean anti-white or anti any other race. You know what I mean? Like, you can be pro-Black and still date outside of your race. Like, that doesn't change, like LadiiNova said, it doesn't change who you are. You can still like be proud to be Black and uplift other Black people while still dating outside your race. I feel like a lot of people don't understand that. They feel like, okay, you're pro-Black, you need to date and marry a Black person and keep it all, you know what I mean? And it's like Lady said, that's a personal preference, but no, you can definitely date outside your race. Because if that was the same case, would you not have other friends outside the race too? You know what I mean? So
Good question.
Pro-black, like I said, definitely doesn't mean anti anything else. You just are proud of who you are.
I like that answer. What's up, Ms. Dashia?
I mean, I agree with the two of you, but I will say that certain people who speak out a lot, so like Amanda Seales, she speaks out a lot about just issues that specifically impact the Black community. So if she popped up one day and she's like MCM and she has a boyfriend and he's white, I would be shocked. I would be.
Too.
Initially, I would be shocked. Doesn't mean that I would have an issue with it at all. I would just be shocked because they're consistently speaking about, you know, being pro-Black and all these different things, and then they pop out and they're with someone who isn't. But I wouldn't have an issue with it. I think that you can be pro-Black and love who you are and love the people who look like you, but that doesn't, you don't negate those facts simply because you date someone who isn't. I had a question for you though. Dealing with the same thing. Can a Black male truly call himself pro-Black? He dates Black women, or they date Black women, but they disrespect them. They disrespect them, they mistreat them, they cheat, whatever. Can you truly call yourself pro-Black if you are dating a Black woman or dating Black women, but you don't respect them?
No.
Dang. That's deep.
I just because, yeah.
Were you just asking him as a male, or is this everybody?
This is everybody.
This is a rhetorical question for everybody.
Excuse me, rhetoricals.
Because I was going to answer. Look, I was like, what's that?
I'm gonna say you can go ahead and answer first.
I honestly like that really just threw me off a loop, because it's true. Like a lot of Black men, you know, I will say in our generation, are very disrespectful towards Black women, whereas through like music or like just like a lot of pop culture and things like that, I have seen that before. I wish I had an answer for you. but yeah, so my answer to the question at hand about dating outside your race, I think it's not a problem whatsoever. Like, as long as your partner can accept who you are and you do the same with them, I feel like everything will run smoothly. I really like Cassondra's answer, what she said in that case, why do we have you know, white friends or Hispanic friends or whatever the case is? Like, I think it shouldn't be a big issue as to being pro-Black and also dating a Hispanic person or a white person or whatever. So, you know, I don't think it's such a big deal at all. But thank you, guys.
I don't want to look over that question though, because I feel like you were going to answer it.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Lady, I think, had an answer too.
So I personally say no, and I say no because, like I said, most of our definitions of being pro-Black was being supportive of people in the Black community. You can't tell me that you are pro-Black when you're shunning the very woman that's supposed to be like, going biblically, your rib. That's supposed to be the person that you look out for, and she looks out for you. Y'all supposed to be a team, a dynamic. Even with your mother, you came from her. She's the strongest woman that you should know on this earth, starting right out. You can't tell me that you're pro-Black and you just act like they're the scum of this earth. Especially taking it further from being pro-Black, especially when it is the Black women who have y'all back the hardest. Because I haven't seen nobody else really riding for Black men the way Black women have. And It's the same narrative every time. They get shot in the face when it's their turn to have support. Some Black men, some majority of Black men are nowhere around. They're just in the cut. Like, I mean, well, it's her problem, not mine.
I mean, Ari Lennox there was a situation that happened a couple of weeks ago with, I think, an editor from like Vanity Fair and then another person for some other magazine. And they were on Twitter and they were pretty much talking poorly about Blue Ivy's looks. She's a child. And they were saying things like, well, you know, unfortunately, she looks like Jay-Z, but when she gets older, she can have surgery. Again, she's a child. But Ari Lennox went on to do a live because those same people, or a Black guy commented on those posts and was like, I'm upset that people talk about Ari Lennox and Tiana Taylor as if they're beautiful when they look like Rottweilers. And
I was about to talk about that too.
Yeah. And so she was crying mainly because she was upset, not so much about what they said about her, but just the fact that it continues to happen. Like, she just felt like Black men do not protect Black women, and they are the first sometimes to tear us down. And she truly just didn't understand it. So
Yeah, and I was going to bring up that exact subject because now that I've had like time to kind of process that question as a Black man coming from a Black man, that really did break my heart because Ari Lennox and Tiana Taylor are very talented people, and like because and it's just sad that a Black man, you know, a brother of mine, possibly not exactly my brother, but you know, that said that. You're right. Right, but still, like the fact that he said it just saddened me because like I love both of those artists. Like I listen to them just about every day, and it never once crossed my mind of like their of them looking that way the way that he said it. And I was like, dude, like seriously. And it just really saddens me how men like that are really treating our Black women. You know, it's like at the end of the day, like you know, we're giving Black women the power to bear children to make more Black people in the future. So you know, just disrespecting them in that way, it just really did hurt me. It really did. So, yeah.
I want Cassondra to go, but it just when she said that, Dashia D said that, it just made me think like I just think it comes with men being desensitized to a real female who has a real natural look and all of this because the two people he chose. You haven't heard anything about implants or facial reconstruction or anything. These are Black women who are out because of who they are. I remember when Tiana Taylor first came out, it was nothing but comments about her and how she looked, and her face is strong. You can't tell me that's not a man, da da da. And I'm like, she's not meant to look like everybody else. She has her face. That's been her face her whole life. Like, why are you making comments about her? But then you want to go out here and raise people up like Black China. Again, I know we're talking about being pro-Black, but that's somebody who didn't love herself enough to just stay who she was. She went and did a whole lot of BS that's not attractive at all. And it's like, you praise her and you leave people like Ari and Tiana Taylor, SZA, like, whatever.
Women who actually have talent.
Talent and have their natural look.
But, yeah.
So then that brings us back to Dashia's question that, and I don't mind asking it. So do you think, and this question is for everybody, do you think that guys can still call themselves pro-Black if they still put down certain types of women? Like they uplift like the light-skinned women and then put down like the dark-skinned women, or mixed women, or women who feels like, you know what I mean? Like they have to have long hair and lighter skin to be pretty, but the dark-skinned ones aren't. And Dashia, please correct me if that wasn't your question.
It wasn't, but that's okay.
Okay.
I think ultimately what I was trying to say is that we should be uplifting each other, getting off the male subject. Like we should be the ones uplifting each other. And sometimes we're the first ones to tear each other down for whatever reason it may be. We're the hardest on one another. And it's unfortunate. Because like, I don't know, I feel like years ago, if I saw girls coming to our high school, which we went to predominantly Black high school, with color in their hair, purple, green, blue, whatever, the first thought that I would have back then is that is ratchet. That is ghetto. It doesn't look nice. Right. But then if I saw a white girl whose hair was blue, green, pink, whatever, those thoughts did not cross my mind. And I feel like that's problematic. So I feel like that's something I had to check myself in, you know? I think that's more along the lines of what I was trying to get at, but I didn't know how to ask that question.
I can agree with that because I've seen it. Now, I won't lie. I never thought it looked good on the white people either.
Oh, I didn't think it looked good across the board. I'm just saying I didn't judge them in the same way. I didn't say like, oh, that's this and that's that. I don't know.
I mean, for us, I can't say for anybody else, but I guess the area of which we were raised around, some people would just associate that automatically. Because I thought about that looking at posts on Facebook, and I see so many different Black females of different shades who have different color hair, and I'm like, yo, that is really pretty. I love it. The thought that I used to have back then doesn't even enter my mind anymore of being right shade, because I had that thought before. And everybody's always like, oh, you can't have this hair color going to work. You can't have this hair color doing this. You can't do this. You can't do that. It's always a you can't do.
Mm-hmm.
But the very next person could do without any other questions. And I'm like, her hair looks beautiful. I don't understand why she can't have the hair color. It's not professional. Who started the professionalism? Who said that these things could not happen? Who says that makes you unprofessional? I mean, I don't know. I just think it's stupid.
Sorry, y'all. You know these androids, man. But anyway.
You finally admitted it.
Just throw me in the bus with you.
Ever do, but my phone ain't have to do that, man. Anyway, back.
I got a Droid. Mine work perfectly fine.
Anywho.
So just to kind of wrap everything up or whatever, like I said, the reason why I wanted to address this topic, one, because we're close to wrapping up Black History Month, and to also, again, kind of like highlight one of our many topics this season that's going to be more talking about societal issues and concern, or just, you know, things that are happening in the world more so than trying to get to know us. So with that being said, Ms. Dashia, let's wrap this up today.
And also, please go to our Facebook page or Instagram and let us know, do you feel like you are pro-Black, or just continue the conversation there. Join us every Monday.
Comment.
Like.
Subscribe.
And yes, that's all the way at.
Peace out.